Welcome to Personal Injury Marketing Minute.
Welcome to the Personal Injury Marketing Minute, where we quickly cover the hot topics in the legal marketing world. I'm your host, Lindsay Busfield. Today, I'm joined by Ken Hardison, founder and CEO of PILMMA. Ken built and sold two multi-million-dollar law firms before creating PILMMA as a mastermind community to help personal injury owners grow their firms using practical marketing and management strategies. Today, we're talking about why PI attorneys can't afford to miss PILMMA's Super Summit in San Antonio this May. Ken, so glad to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I actually am. I live a very blessed life, I must say.
Well, we are so glad to have you back on the show to talk about PILMMA and all of the great things that you guys are doing, the great speakers that you're going to be having, and what personal injury attorneys can look forward to getting out of the conference this year. So, Ken, for someone who has heard the name but hasn't really engaged with PILMMA yet, what is it, and what do personal injury attorneys get from both participating in the mastermind groups, and what is the Super Summit?
PILMMA stands for Personal Injury Lawyers Marketing and Management Association. It's something I created about 15, 16 years ago after I sold my second law firm and decided I didn't want to be retired. I got bored, but I didn't really want to start another law firm. So why not help other lawyers get there quicker, not make the same mistakes I made? Because when I was building mine, there was nothing like me out there. There was no consultants, there was no masterminds, there was nothing. So I just felt like, a good way for me to stay active, give back to the community, and help lawyers that didn't know what they didn't know. And, so it kind of started out as just something to keep me busy, but then it kind of turned into a real business, I guess, 10 or 12 years ago. And we've been doing a summit every year, sometimes two events a year. And I remember when we first started, we about had 60 or 70 lawyers. Now we'll have, 500 plus from all over the country, and actually some from overseas. We've had them from Canada, Australia, England. So, but it's what we try to do is, and I personally pick every speaker and try to figure out what's cutting edge and what lawyers need to take it to the next level, whether it be to make more money, have a better profit, get more cases, have a more streamlined operation, be able to, some people want to own the world and some lawyers just want to make a good, decent living, and that's different for different people. Some people can live off of 300 a year. Some people need $1 million a year. But whatever it is, we want to try to help them get there, and they want to get it to where if they left their business for 3 months, they could be assured that everything's running like a sewing machine. They get back, the money is still coming in, and clients are still happy, and the business is still flourishing. So that's the ultimate goal, is to help you build the law firm of your dreams, and that your dreams might be different than somebody else, right?
Well,
So
and it's the law firm that you dream of and the lifestyle that you dream of. And the beautiful thing about PILMMA, and both with the Mastermind Association, but also with the summit, is you get to not only benefit from the experience that you're bringing in, as well as the speakers, but you're also surrounded by all of these attorneys who have similar aspirations or have similar goals in life as well as in their practice, and have had similar struggles and have found creative ways around that. And it's all working towards different goals, but with a great group of people who have been there before.
yeah, it's like mindedness, right? I
Yeah.
think that's the big deal. Yeah, and I think that's the big deal. You meet a lot of friends there, and I mean, I've seen some of the lawyers tell me, that some of their biggest takeaways were made out in the hallway from
Yeah.
other lawyers or vendors, not from the speakers. And then, most everybody, when at the end of every event, I always ask them how many things have you got down that you want to do, and there'll be half the room will have over 20 things they want to do. And
Yeah.
I said, well, don't go back and try to do them all, because at one time, just prioritize and pick them off. So yeah, and I mean it's like we have really great speakers. Like you're going to be speaking this year.
I
Uh,
am very excited to be part of the team.
yes, I mean so I mean, uh, and we got some of our mastermind members, and we just really, I've in the last couple of years, I've really tried to make PILMMA even stronger. I've added faculty members. We got a gold membership now that if you can't get away to go to these mastermind meetings, we've got a self-taught deal, and when we got monthly marketing roundtables on Zoom, intake training, management roundtables. This year we're starting. We've got a CFO that's going to be doing tables. That was a CFO for a mid-tier PI law firm, and she's going to be there to answer any questions for people about finances. And then this year we also added to our faculty Derek Weber, who is I think one of the smartest guys I've ever met about how to use AI to scale a law firm and to do it without driving yourself crazy or trying to do too much at one time. He's very methodical about it, and he's going to be leading monthly sessions now for our masterminds. And also in March, and I'll go ahead and tell you, you're the first one I've told. We're starting a new coaching program where you get all the gold benefits, all that what I was just talking about. Plus, we'll have a one-on-one monthly hour coaching call to help you, and that's going to kind of help you with specifics, and it's also going to be accountability so that we can help. We've got we got 40 or 50 training videos inside, but a lot of lawyers, they got to have a coach, just like Tiger Woods got a coach, Michael Jordan had a coach. Everybody has to have a coach, if nothing else, just to hold you accountable. I mean,
Absolutely.
I got a coach for working out. I've been working out for 6, 7 years. I know what to do, but if I ain't got the guy that I'm paying money to, I won't show up half the time.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited about PILMMA. I feel like we're entering and there's a lot of things changing right now with the institutional money coming in and AI. So it's like I heard Prime Minister kind of says you either got to come up to the table or you're going to be on the menu. So
That's it. That's great.
that's the way I feel about AI and this other stuff. It's not that I'm old. I mean, I don't want to learn new things, but the deal is if you don't, you're gonna be left
You're
behind.
not going to be relevant anymore. And I know that AI is kind of the big anxiety right now, both
It is.
for, for business owners, for law firms, for SEO agencies, for new startup companies. It is the hot trend right now, and it deserves to be because it is reshaping how a lot of us as entrepreneurs, as lawyers, as people engaging with the internet, it is a new way to interact, get information, and really do basic functions in business. So you have all of these new startup technologies. You have different ways of thinking of how to get your business and law firm incorporated into AI and to show up and to continue to be relevant. So it's completely changing the landscape. But as you said, you can't do everything at once, or else you're not going to do anything well. So you need to have actionable strategies. You need to break this off into bite-sized pieces to
Yeah,
be able to digest it, implement it, and scale it in a way that's sustainable long term.
yeah. I would suggest your listeners read a book called The 12-Week Year. I read it about 7, 8 years ago, and it changed my life. I don't use it all, but I use between that and the Vern Harnish book, Scaling Up.
Mm.
Uh, that's the way I approach everything now. Instead of annual goal, I mean, I've got annual goals, but I really break it down to quarterly projects, and I try to work on 2 to 3 projects a quarter. And we just get so much more done because we're more focused, and we try to do it in a quarter, which is like 13 weeks technically, but we say 12 weeks. Um, but that will get, because that's the biggest problem I see with lawyers, even the ones that want to do better, is that they're just finding the time to do it and follow through. You know what I'm saying? You got to have laser focus, and
You
that's hard.
do.
Yeah, and it's hard to do. I mean, listen, and if you're an entrepreneur like me, it's even harder because you always grabbing at the next shiny object, and that's one of our entrepreneurs have a lot of strengths, but one of our weaknesses is that we do tend to get sidelined by shiny objects, and you got to find somebody to help off balance that. You know, to balance that off to where you're
And
not.
bringing in that coach for the
Yeah,
new
yeah,
coaching will be such a
yeah,
great instrument for people to lean on,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there are so many shiny objects, or especially with AI here, there
yeah,
is the new shiny object for intake and a new shiny object for marketing and a new one for operations and case management software. And yes, these are all really important things that you need to incorporate as you grow and scale, but focusing on small, digestible, scalable, sustainable pieces is a, a much better approach than trying to grab at all the shiny at once, and having that coach in place to help you figure out what exactly your firm needs for the 12 weeks and then for the next 12 weeks to reach these overarching goals is going to be a great tool. I'm
yeah,
very excited for you for that.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was something that, I wanted to make sure I had the right people in the right seat before I would offer this. And I feel like I've got that now. I've got a great faculty. I've got some people that have been CEOs for multi-million dollar law firms for 20 or 30 years. So they got the experience, they got the knowledge. I mean, at the summit, I'm doing something a little different this year. I mean, it's 2.5 days. The first day and a half, everybody's going to be in the same room. But after that, the last half of the second day and the third day, the first half, we'll have breakout sessions, and we'll have a session just for AI, one on the business of law, one on marketing, and then we're going to have a special one. We're going to have one on second in command, and that's going to be whether if you're a small firm, just got an office manager, a part-time office manager. If you got a law firm administrator, you got a COO, whatever you want, director of operations. I think they're all called. I just call them second in command. It's your right-hand person, and I think that I've been watching this at some of the masterminds, and they have struggles too, not only implementation, but also making sure their boss is happy and that they work together, as a team. And so I wanted to do something a little different. So we're pushing that out this year, first time ever. And of course, the AI section is the first time ever. Um, so yeah, I mean, you always got we're talking more about the business of law and how this institutional money and different things and buying and selling law firms, because that's a way to grow too, right?
That
Just buying
is.
a law firm, it's that's what a lot of you big corporations do. That's the way they grow fast. They go out and absorb other companies. But there's smart ways to do it and there's dumb ways to do it. And so we got some experts that are going to be talking about the smart ways to do it and what you have to do to get the best price. And I think it's time relevant because there's so many baby boomers now in the practice of law, just like, between the ages of 60 and 70. And they really not got no exit strategy and they need one, but they don't, and they want to get the best they can, for their families. But there's certain things you got to do that brings the multiples up, and you know, uh, and
Well,
it
and
all.
we were talking a bit about, the different goals that people have as they are going through their professional careers, whether that goal is to be at the 300,000 mark or the, $1 million mark a year. People are going to have different goals as they have their exit strategies. And some goals might involve getting the biggest dollar amount for the sale of your firm. Others might be creating a lasting legacy and having your everything that you have built and stood for be continued on through your practice and through those mergers
Yeah,
and acquisitions. And so everybody is going to have a different why that they want to continue as they build and scale and sell their firms.
yeah. But yeah, I was working on the schedule for the summit today, and I think we're going to have over 40 speakers. So,
That's fantastic.
and I'm excited about it because a lot of smart people like you are going to be there. So,
Well, really looking forward to it. And I know that we've been going for a few years now, and there have just been phenomenal speakers in the past. And it has been a lot of fun to watch the different faces and voices come through, speaking to what we're seeing in the industry at the time, because so many of the attorneys who are going are wanting to grow and scale. And there are a lot of challenges that these attorneys are facing at the same time, whether it is challenges with intake or challenges with marketing and the different shifts and different tones in that, or now that we're looking at the challenges of AI. What are some of the patterns that you're seeing now that some of the speakers are going to be speaking towards in terms of the pitfalls or struggles that attorneys are seeming to face time and time again coming into 2026?
Well, I think what I see is like maybe the top 3 or 4 things that are really PI lawyers are struggling with is how to adapt AI, and not just in workflows, but in like what you do with internet. Should they be optimizing more for Chat GPT and Gemini and all this stuff versus Google and Bing? How do we use it? How do we get our people pumped up to use it because they're scared it's going to take their jobs?
Right.
So that's like one big deal. I still think there's a big problem finding good associate attorneys
Mm,
and keeping them. And how do you structure their pay and how do you keep them from jumping ship? And I think the labor market is coming back, with the offshore stuff and AI. I think that's going to take care of itself, but you're still not going to be able to go to courtroom and try a case.
right.
And you know what I'm saying? And so there's what I'm seeing. I know there's less and less of the younger lawyers that really want to go try cases. So that's a challenge, right? And you want to get the best. If you want to be the best in your market, you want to get the best lawyers. And how do you do that and pay them what they're worth, but not bankrupt yourself in the process? So that's another big challenge, I think. And then I think the other big challenge right now is what can I do to get ready because it's coming for these mega firms like John Morgan. It's going to be more than him. A lot of these firms now a lot of this institutional money is coming in and they're creating these MSOs, and you're going to see that more and more. And there's going to be national firms. My prediction in the next 5 years, you'll see probably 7 to 8 John Morgans, uh, because there'll be a lot of consolidation of a lot of law firms to make a national firm, and they're going to have loads of money. And so, what are you going to do to combat that, right?
Right.
And that's where I think PILMMA can help you because number one, you've got to differentiate yourself and stand out, and you got to give them something that the mega firms can't give them.
Right.
And I'm not going to give away that secret right here, right now. You got to come to the summit, and I'll tell
Come to
you.
the summit and find out what that
But
is.
but that it is the truth, and if you don't get ready for it, I call it just like what happened to a lot of little mom and pop stores when Walmart started coming in these small towns.
Hmm.
There's some of them flourished, but they knew how to deal with it, and the ones that didn't and kept on doing it the same way, 2 or 3 years they were out of business. And I
Yeah.
saw that in my hometown. I was in a city of 10 or town of 10,000. And when Walmart came, it ran a lot of small mom and pop stores, local mom and pop stores out of business. And so the smart ones knew how to differentiate, knew how to do the extra stuff that Walmart wouldn't do or couldn't do. I think it's the same thing true for law firms. Uh, so there is a way to combat it. You're never going to outspend them, okay? So you got to outsmart them.
Right.
That's just the truth.
That's
And
just true. Well, when you have people who are spending millions of dollars in
yeah,
marketing every month and
yeah,
just to drive people out of the market, you're
yeah,
never going to be able to go toe to toe when
yeah.
it going dollar to dollar.
And you got to work, and you got it's just simple stuff like referral systems. I mean, instead of just thinking somebody gonna refer your case, there's a lot of different things that we teach at PILMMA of how you can create these whole systematic way of getting referrals from past clients,
Hmm.
from other lawyers, from doctors, from friends and family, from employees.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do see that's like the big challenges. And so what I try to do when I'm putting together this agenda is I'm trying to figure out, who can I bring in to help, you know, alleviate some of these problems, and give
Well,
some
and
answers.
And just through the attending PILMMA, you are creating a network. Attorneys are creating networks of people that become natural referral sources if you are nurturing those relationships.
Absolutely.
You're meeting other attorneys from
Yep.
all across the nation. And that's one of the beautiful things here is you aren't just networking with your direct competitors like you would if you were to attend a state bar association summit. These are
Yeah.
people who are in the same field across the country, across the world, that have a built-in ability to network and share referrals. And there are all of the vendors there who are working with people who are in the same field and can naturally submit referrals to you. So building that network is crucial. And it's so easy to do if you take the right steps and are intentional about it.
Yeah. I mean, we have a list for all the PILMMA members that they can talk, ask questions about vendors and different things. And there's every day there's 2 or 3 referrals going across the network. I see it. I mean, I don't get involved in it because I've got several members from the same city, so I don't do any endorsements because I think that's not fair.
Right.
But I see it every day. I mean, we're doing this in the afternoon. I already saw 2 of them this morning. People saying I've got this case in Colorado, I've got this case in Florida. Anybody can help me on it? Can I refer it to you? So yeah, I mean that's people don't join PILMMA just for that, but it's a hell of a side little little sidekick, a little I guess you call it a bonus.
Yeah, well, I mean, and their relationships are one of those things that you can naturally build if you put the time and energy into it. And relationships are also something that AI can't compete against. I mean, AI can do a lot of really great, powerful things, but
Yeah,
one of the things that it's never going to replace is a natural relationship or a warm introduction to a prospective client.
yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree.
So in talking about the what people are able to get out of PILMMA, what are some of the goals that you find that attorneys that have in mind as they're entering the PILMMA Super Summit, and what kind of things are they leaving with? What do you think the deliverables would be?
Well, I think a bunch of them come in there wanting to figure out how to get more cases. Some of them come in there wanting to know how to scale. They've kind of they're doing really good, but they've kind of hit a wall. And there's certain ways like you hit certain plateaus and you've got to like re-engineer your firm infrastructure uh, to do that next big jump. And so they're looking for answers on how to do that. I think they're going to be coming to look on how to implement AI and where do they start and what vendors do they choose. I mean, who can they trust? Things like that. And I think some of them come because we have over 80 something vendors. Some of them will come just to talk to the different vendors and kind of compare them so they can compare apples to apples in the same building. And they also go in there and talk to other lawyers and say, who are you using? Da, da, da. What's your experience? And that's a good feeling to be able to do it instead of just getting cold call from somebody on the phone, a salesperson. I mean, I just think it's a better deal. And so hopefully they'll walk out there with ideas of how to get more cases, how to scale their law firms. I mean, and how to use AI in a reasonable manner that's not crazy, and come away with maybe some new stuff they didn't even know was out there, in the vendor section, or find a new vendor that they didn't know exist. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. Uh,
And of course, you always pick some really great locations for PILMMA to take place. We first started going when you were down in New Orleans, and that was a lot of fun. I had never been there before, so it was a great excuse for me to get out there. Last year was in Denver, and I loved going out there because that's where home is for me. And this year you have picked San Antonio. So
yeah,
what was
yeah.
the rationale behind San Antonio this year?
Yeah, and some people said, "Oh, Ken, San Antonio has nothing to do." I said, "Well, our people that come, I think there is some things to do. I mean, it's the Riverwalk is just beautiful. It's got some great restaurants. We've had a summit there before, probably 10 years ago, and and if you want to take the family, they got SeaWorld there. They got the Alamo. So there's things there to do for your family. They got a lot of music, uh, and it was kind of centrally located in the United States. So because we got people from Seattle, people from Miami, people from Maine. We got people. from San Diego. We just got them from all over the United States, and it's got a decent airport you can get in and out of. But and it's not too big a city, where it's you got to worry about a lot of crime and stuff. So that was my rationale. I think we like to keep moving around a little bit, but that was the rationale for that. I thought about Austin. I don't think it's big enough, and we've had one in Dallas before, and I don't know. We'll keep moving around. We've had Nashville, we've done Chicago, we've done St. Louis. Um, so we'll see. We've done Utah.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah,
that.
it's a great way to see the world, or at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
our
yeah,
slice of the
yeah,
world over here.
yeah. So, but that was the rationale for that. To be honest with you.
Great. Well, I think that that's just as great of a reason as any. I know I've been to San Antonio a few times, and it's a beautiful city, and there's a lot of history there, and it's a great place to go explore, and while you're learning how to grow and scale your law firm.
Yeah.
Well, so Ken, any last words as we're closing up today for people who are thinking about coming out to the PILMMA Super Summit 2026?
Yeah. Two things. Number one, if you go ahead and get your ticket now, you're going to save a lot of money. And if you can cancel and get a full refund up to 30 days before. After that, and if you got a trial, you're going to know it 30 days before. And after that, you can get a credit. If you can't make it, we'll give you credit for any other events that we have or any other thing that we sell. And then the other thing is, I've been doing this for 15 years. And every time I do it, I offer a money back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied that you got at least 10 times your investment after the first day. Not only will I give you your ticket money back, well, I will pay up to $1,000 worth of documented travel and the hotel expenses. And in 15 years, nobody has ever asked me for it. This might be the year somebody asked me for it. But I always take my checkbook and a little bit of cash, and
Just in case.
just in case, because somebody's going to pull it. Somebody will hear this and go just to do it so that I'll have a
Just to get a trip to San Antonio.
and that'll be okay. And that'll be okay too. But I try to, I believe in what we do, and I believe that we give value. And if anybody don't think we do, then my God, I don't want their money. You know what I'm saying?
But if you can go to PILMMA and not find something valuable in that, either for you as you grow and scale your law firm or professionally networking, then it's kind of on you. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. It's on the attorney who is purposefully trying not to find something great that they can find from it. It is such an amazing event. I have really thoroughly enjoyed going every year that I've gone. I've learned things from an entrepreneurial standpoint about growing and scaling our own business here, as well as meeting some really terrific people from around the country with great ideas and just some of the most brilliant minds that you can ask for. So Ken, thank you for putting it on. Thank you so much for coming on the Personal Injury Marketing Minute with me today. Yeah. It is always a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for agreeing to speak at our event too. We appreciate that, Lindsay.
Yeah, I am so excited to be able to contribute what we have to the great minds that are out there as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.